considered to be the end of life of the battery is sort of on the order of 15 years. But it does depend on how heavily the battery is used, what percentage of how deeply it's discharged, how aggressive power is added to the pack or removed from the pack. But the electronics can last to 20 to 30 years. And the cooling system, the thermal control loop can also last on that order. So over time what you can do is you can add more power packs to supplement the decline in the energy capability of the older ones. They are certainly recyclable, and in fact it makes sense to recycle lithium-ion battery packs because the material constituents are still quite valuable. The primary cost driver, in fact, in the cells tends to be nickel. So we can think of it as very nickel-rich ore, is one way to think about it. But typically man landing on the moon, they would have said that's ridiculous. And if you try to talk to them about the internet, they would not even know what the heck what are you even talking about? Like, this sounds so crazy. But today, with a $100 device, you can video conference with anyone in the world, on the other side of the world. And if you have a Wi-Fi connection, it's basically free. Free to have an instant visual communication with anyone, or even with millions of people. With social media, you can communicate to millions of people simultaneously. And you can Google something and ask any question. It's like an oracle of wisdom that you can ask almost any question and get an instant response. It would have been incredibly difficult to predict these things in the past, even the relatively recent past. So I think the one thing that I hope we're traveling frequently throughout the solar system, perhaps preparing for missions to nearby star systems. I think all of this is possible within 50 years. And I think that would be very exciting to do that. And I think we'll see autonomy and artificial intelligence advance tremendously. I think that's actually quite near term. My guess is in probably 10 years, it will be very unusual for cars to be built that are not fully autonomous. 10 years.
10 years from now.
Yeah. I think almost all cars built will be capable of full autonomy in about 10 years. As it is, the Tesla cars that are made today have the sensor system necessary in an elevator. You just tell it where you want to go, and it takes you there with extreme levels of safety. And that'll be normal. It'll just be normal. Like for elevators, there used to be elevator operators. You get in, there'd be a guy moving a lever. Now you just get in, you press the button, and that's taken for granted.
No, I mean, when I was in college, I just thought, well, what are the things that are most likely to affect the future of humanity, just in, at a macro level? And it just seemed like it would be like the internet and sustainable energy, making like multiplanetary, and then genetics and AI. And I thought the first three, if you worked on those, they were like almost certainly going to be good. And then the last two, a little more dodgy.
In terms of the net benefit?
Yeah. It's with a double-edged sword, and you're not sure which edge is the worse.
Interesting. So it seems like begging the...
But I think this is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, is where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know. Some people think I'm an alien. If I see some evidence for aliens, I'll be the first to be like, aliens, Honestly, I think I would know if there were aliens. There's something called like the Fermi paradox of like, where are the aliens? So, where are the aliens? And I think it was Carl Sagan that said like, there either are a lot of aliens or none. And either they're equally terrifying. If there are a lot of aliens, well, I mean, the invasion ship slash, bug infestation, just, like...
Starship Trooper style?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like an alien civilization might just view us as like a bug infestation.
Right.
It's like, hey, we left that planet, it was fine, now it's got a bunch of bugs, just go fumigate it, Like we'd fumigate it. At least as good as a 7-Eleven or ATM can, okay? It's like,
Somebody's got to have at least like an iPhone 1 level camera.
Yeah.
Like something, you know?
It's just going to be out there in deep space for maybe millions or billions of years, who knows? And yeah, maybe discovered by some future alien race, thinking, what the heck, what were these guys doing? Did they worship this car? Why do they have a little car in the car? That'll really confuse them. So, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think, it's kind of a fun thing, and I sure hope that next burn works, by the way.
I think the thing about Mars is that I think it's important for us to take the set of actions that are most likely to continue consciousness into the future. What increases the probability of consciousness of continuing into the future? I think we should not take it for granted that consciousness will continue because we have not encountered any aliens. Where are the aliens? This is the Fermi paradox. Or ensure that life is multiplanetary. Not because I think something that it's not from the standpoint of it just being an escape hatch, or because I think that Earth is doomed, but there's a certain probability that is irreducible that something may happen to Earth. Despite our best intentions, despite everything we try to do, there's a probability at a certain point that some either external force or some internal unforced error causes civilization to be destroyed, or sufficiently impaired such that it can no longer extend to another planet. It's hard to say. Put another way, this is the first time in the 4.5 billion year history of Earth that it's been possible to extend life beyond Earth. Before this, it was not possible. How long will this window be open? It may be open for a long time, or it may be open for a short time. I think it would be wise to assume that to do. Like, why do anything? What's the meaning of life? And, I came to the conclusion that what we really need to do is make sure that life continues into the future, and particularly conscious life. And in doing so, we'll be better able to understand the nature of the universe and achieve greater enlightenment. Well, I think it's going to take a while to build a real civilization. The threshold that really matters is, for getting past the great filter, do we have enough resources on Mars such that if the spaceships from Earth stop coming,
You can survive.
yeah. So I could only be just missing one little thing. You'd be like, you're on a long sea voyage, and the only thing you're missing is vitamin C. Still not good. It's only a matter of time, and those can be curtains. So you got to have all the things necessary to sustain civilization on Mars. And the reason that the ships from Earth stop coming could be here. Like a computer would be like, hey, wow, here's but even just like some advanced metallurgy, anything, like we'd say anything like that. I mean, if they wanted us to know, obviously they could just,
For sure.
show up and walk down Main Street,
Right.
Hey, I'm an alien, check me out,
Right.
Here's my spaceship, I just land in the middle of Times Square. We're like,
Right.
okay.
Or hover over downtown LA.
Yeah. We were like, okay, we believe you. So whatever they are very subtle with aliens.
How often do you think about it?
None, zero.
Zero? Even though you're thinking about interplanetary travel, you don't really think about aliens.
No, I mean, if they show up, I'm like, great, okay, now this is new information. If there are super intelligent aliens out there, they're probably already observing us. That would seem quite likely. And we just are not smart enough to realize it. But I can do some back-of-the-envelope calculations, and any...
So you just
Yeah, just throughout history, it's not like the aliens visited. There's something buried somewhere. Think we have to. Anyway, I mean, maybe there are aliens, but they're very subtle. If there are, they're just very. They're being pretty shy. So, nor are we seeing signals from any other solar system or anything like that. So, now, and the thing is that on a galactic timescale, even with sublight travel, you could absolutely colonize the whole galaxy, even some of the neighboring galaxies. The exciting things that we see in sci-fi